Hello, and welcome to episode 49 of A Week in Watches. My name is Blake Bettner. I'll be your host this week. This is our weekly look back at the people, watches, and stories from the industry. Before we get into this week's episode, a quick shout out to our sponsor, Jack Mason, and their new dive watch, the Hydro Timer. We'll have a lot more on this really cool dive watch, more in the episode, so stay tuned for that. We're kicking things off this week with a new watch from Zodiac. Well, it's not actually a new watch. It's a watch from the late 60s that Zodiac is bringing back. It's called the Sea-Chron. This is a diving chronograph watch. It's got a lot of that late 60s personality, but it also works pretty well in this day and age too. It holds up really well. This is a handsome chronograph. Comes in a reverse panda design. It also comes in a blue and black subdial design. It's got a sandwich style dial. 42 millimeters, it's steel. It's using a Solida-based movement. It's a little thick at 16 millimeters, 50 millimeters in lug to lug. But overall, I found this like pretty nice on the wrist, and it's incredibly handsome. This is a great personality on this watch. I love to see them bringing this design back. Would love to see them riff on this continually with maybe an STP movement in the future. We'll see. But there's a few fun details about this watch that I really like, namely the bezel indexed fully up to 20 minutes. The only number on it is 30 down at the bottom, which is kind of strange. I kind of like that quirk of it. And then the circle at 12 o'clock, replacing any numbers or anything like that. Kind of an unusual sighting, but again, this kind of leans into the odd but fun personality of the watch. Overall, I think it's a great looking watch. This is available now for $2,495 from Zodiac. We've got more details on this and all these watches now live on wornandwound.com. Next up, last weekend was the Miami Grand Prix, the round 5 of Formula One season. You may have watched it. No surprises. Max Verstappen took away with the win there, followed by Sergio Perez. But IWC took the opportunity to release a new watch, a new version of a watch that they released actually last year at the first Miami GP. This is another Pilot's Chronograph 41 with the AMG Patronus colorway in the hour markers on the dial. What I love about this is the titanium case though. It's not a small watch, and the titanium case helps a ton. So what is new about it this year is they brought a Miami pink strap to the equation, and it looks great. It complements the Patronus green dial. If you like big colorways, this just kind of leans into it all the further. This also does come with the Patronus green strap that was offered last year. So if you get the watch this year, it will come with both of those straps. This watch is $8,350. It's available now from IWC. If you want more of our thoughts on the Grand Prix, you can catch our latest Time on Track episode, which is live now on wornandwound.com. Next up, a bit of news from our friends over at Messina Lab. They are launching the Messina House. This is a community and retail concept meant to put a spotlight on independent watchmaking. If you know William Messina, you know he goes deep into those areas and puts a spotlight on a lot of different brands that you maybe haven't heard of, but are worth a second look for sure. The first one that they're starting out with is Daniel Roth. They're becoming a retailer of the brand. Daniel Roth is, of course, a storied watchmaker that was recently brought back by La Fabrique du Temps Louis Vuitton. Really beautiful stuff going on there. Very unique design language, incredible finishing at work here, and they will be available at this Messina House. There's a lot more going on there. We'll leave a link to the Messina House so you can check it out on your own down below. Good luck to William Messina and our friends on that one. Next up, a word from our sponsor, Jack Mason. Jack Mason is launching a new dive watch called the Hydro Timer, based on the same platform as their very popular Strato Timer GMT that we saw released last year. This is a 40 millimeter steel dive watch with a ceramic bezel. This is using a Miyota-based movement that's been regulated to within plus or minus 5 seconds per day. Really impressive stuff, especially at this price range and for this movement. This whole watch is assembled in the USA. It's available for $899 from Jack Mason right now. Really love the look of this watch. They've got a unique design language going down there, and the young guys down in Texas that are managing this brand, I think, have their heads in the right spot for some of these new releases. Really excited to see where they go with this, and the Hydro Timer is an exciting next step in that journey. Check out more details about the Hydro Timer from Jack Mason at the link down below. And we're closing things off with a few new releases from Seiko this week, starting off with a new watch in their Presage line. This is a new Sharp Edge watch. This uses a new movement, the 6R5J, which is a 3-day movement. They've been making updates to their movement range, giving them a small bump in power reserve up to 3 days. This one is no different. This watch actually uses a hemp leaf design motif on the dial. It also has an open heart design in the 10 o'clock position that offers a look down to the balance wheel underneath, but the bridges over this open heart design actually incorporate the hemp leaf design motif that we see throughout the dial. It's very sharp. It comes in a dark blue dial and also a white dial, and it also has a 24-hour sub dial, which is kind of unique here, and I think it's a move that makes a lot of sense for this watch. Overall, I really like the direction that the Sharp Edge is going. So I hope to get my hands on one of those automatic GMTs that we saw released last year. It's a watch that lingers in the back of my head sometimes. All right, and finally, some new Seiko rowing blazer watches. This is a collection of 4 watches that is coming just in time for summer. These are really bright, colorful watches. If you like the rowing blazers designs with the Seikos, you're gonna love these things. They are using the Seiko 5 base. There's a yellow dial, there's a white dial, there's a purple dial, and there's a pink dial. Seiko's pulled in some friends for this release, such as the comedian Ronnie Chang, and of course our good friend Eric Wind. Overall, these are really cool watches. Again, love the colorful dials here. They have the distinct rowing blazers, kind of flag motif in the hour markers. Might be a little polarizing, but if you like them, you're looking for something colorful and fun, and under $500 is a $495. These might be your bet. These usually don't hang around too long, so if you're interested in these, head over to Rowing Blazers or Seiko to try and get yourself one. And that is episode 49 of A Week in Watches. Thank you so much for tuning in this week. If you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do so. If you enjoyed this, please be sure to like and share. It helps us out a lot, and thanks for tuning in again. Until next time, take care.